Guys, and welcome to the another video of React Native. I hope you have followed our previous video and set up the environment and have created a new project and started it. If you have done that, you will be getting a screen, a simulator, which would be of iPhone 6 and its minimum build would be 9.2. You must have opened a terminal of Mac and a node component which is running and which where you can see how your program is compiling and running properly or not. So let's come up to our code, and in this video we will be teaching you how to put some basic components upon the iOS screen that are text input, image view and a normal button. So let's start with putting this text input. There's a text input component in React Native that I've taken, and I'm giving it a style which I will be defining in below my style sheet. You can give any of the name to the style sheet. I am giving it as search input. You must store the style sheet in a curly braces. I am also providing it a placeholder. You must be familiar with placeholder, which is an hint thing that comes in a text input. You can have to type the placeholder after you have declared your style sheet. I've closed this text input tag and now I'm defining a style sheet in my style sheet component. The style sheet component has to be defined between the curly braces, and every component that you define in your style sheet has to be followed by a comma. If you are not providing it a comma, an error would be coming. So I am giving it height as 40, width as 250. You can also give the font size, border width would be required if you want. You can give about the border width up to max 20, which looks good. Border color as something you can provide it as a color, or you can also give it as hex code. You can also use an RBG component for providing the color for any of the background color or border color. As you can see the difference, I have provided black in my color component and border color I have provided with hex value. Now I've put in my style sheet and my text input in my code. Let's see if it comes or not. You have to use command R for recompiling it and seeing the code. There's some error in this my code and it is on upon 57 line. So okay. This error was because I have not defined the text input component of in my React Native. I have to import this component before using it. It's still there. Okay, let's see. Upon line 58. Let's remove it and see. I've not used this comma upon the color. That's why there was an error. Now you can see there's a text input showing up on our screen. You can type anything upon it. This is my Mac autocorrect that is correcting me. So there's a text input. Now let's put quickly our button upon our screen. For that I will be using touchable highlight component. So let's start with it. Same way as I put it my text input. Touchable highlight, and I would also providing it some style. Style name as button. And I would be using an underlay color component, which would be the color which will be shown after I have clicked my button. Just closing my touchable highlight tag. Now I would be using this underlay component. Give it as any of the color you want. This would be the color that will be showing after you have clicked upon the button. First of all, let's also define this component in my React Native part so that last time it came error, so it doesn't come. You can see React Native imports some component part and React part. This component is very useful for working with React because they are modular and reusable. So you can use a basic component in one of the area of the application, reuse it in another without having to duplicate code. So coming back to our code, I am also defining a text which will be shown upon the button. For text that I am using a text part which is by default imported. If you want to provide styling over here, you can also do the same. In the style sheet, you doesn't have to write separately, but I would prefer that you write the style trip down in the style sheet so the code doesn't look bulky. So two style sheet have to define button and button text. Button text give it a font size is 18 or 16, anything you want. I'm providing color as white because I've taken my background color of button as blue, so white would be a good combo with blue. Align center, the text part would be align center upon the button, so I'm using align cell for that. You can also use a justify content in the button part, or you can use self align for the button text. Now let's define style sheet for the button. Let's quickly define it. I would be giving it height as 40. These things that I am giving providing a style sheet are for the iPhone 6 only. If you are running this code in iPhone 5, these style would doesn't show the same result as you want to see. So how to put dynamic style sheet we will be teaching in our next videos. So up till then you have to bear with us. Same color of background color and border color. You can put different color also if you want, but if you're providing with the same color, it looks nice. These are basic CSS component. You must be familiar with it if you have used CSS with any of the web page you have built or anything. Align self as stretch. I want this button to be stretch upon my screen, so I'm using align self stretch and justify content as center. Let's see if it's running or not. Let's again type command R and it's showing my text box and a button is there, but it is not looking good. So let's arrange them, align them so that it looks good. We will be aligning these both components horizontally. For the alignment, I would be using a view upon which I would be using a flex direction. Let me first type the style container over here. It's just a view in which these both components would be put so that they can be aligned horizontally. Let's come down to the style sheet of the container. And in this container part, I would just be writing flex direction as row so that both the component comes and align themselves horizontally. By default, if you're not providing any style sheet or any flex direction to row, it will be vertically. It will be aligning both components vertical. So I want both of them to be aligned horizontally. So I'm using flex direction as row, and let's see what's the difference in our code. and you can see that both have been aligned horizontally, and it is looking very nice. So let's put our third and final component, our image view. For that, there's something you have to do. Let's first define it in our code. You have to use a asset folder. You have to create an asset folder in your project structure. Project structure I have told you previously. I have created one asset folder upon my code, and I put in an image. Any image you want to put. This is the image that I will be showing up on the screen. So let's put this image in our code and let's see how it works. You have to use an image component. I have to give a source. For providing the source, you have to use a require and provide the path in which folder, in whichever folder you have put this image. I have put this image in SS folder. I have taken, you can see over a dot and then a slash. Dot represent as parent folder in which this index file is, and then it takes the image from the SS folder. The image name is new.png. I am also providing some style sheet, some styling to this image so that it doesn't overlap with my text input and button part. Just provide some width and height. Hmm. Let's provide width and height. If you doesn't provide width and height, the image would be showing off its original size. So if you are using some bigger images, it will cover your whole screen and there can be some error. So it's good to provide some width and height to an image. And you have to, don't forget to import this component in our import part of React Native, because it will not run if we are not importing it. Let's see. You can see the images here, and you can provide a style to it as top as top has to be small. I have taken as big. I have provided top as 17. It would just adjust itself 70 pixels below our text view, and so you can see I put in a text box button and an image in this video, and I think it would be very much helpful for you. So we will be discussing some few components and many more in our further videos. So I hope you like this video. Any of the queries you can post in our comment box. Thank you and happy reacting.